Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bellastrology Podcast. I'm your host and astrologer Ashley, and tonight we are talking about the new moon happening in Taurus this Saturday, May 16th, which I will be spending at the Notice Festival here in Nisswa, Minnesota. It's kind of the Super Bowl of the yoga community up here. It's this beautiful festival all day. DJ Taz Rashid comes, and this year he's doing a silent disco headphone yoga flow. I don't know what that is, but I will be there doing that. I can't wait. It's really exciting because not only did I attend this event last year, and it was such a wonderful event for me to meet so many new people for Ashley Bella Astrology, but also this year I work for Notice Wellness now, who puts on this festival. So I'm doing both. I'll have my booth at the festival as well as working for Notice Wellness. So it's a new year. It's very exciting and fun. And it's so exciting that it's happening alongside this beautifully abundant and grounding new moon. It's actually the perfect energy for this festival. And the reason being, normally under a new moon, it's a very dark sky, right? We don't see the illumination of that big, beautiful moon in the sky. But with this one, which I'll talk about with you in this episode, there is some electricity, sending some voltage into this new moon. So perfect for a festival, a grounded, getting into your body, spiritual, sensual day, Saturday. I can't wait. So the new moon perfects herself on Saturday, May 16th at 25 degrees of Taurus. And so if you are a fixed sign, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you are likely to feel this moon most strongly. But also if you have any planets between 22 to 27 degrees of any of those fixed signs, this is also for you too, but all of us are impacted. We're all impacted by what the sun and the moon are doing. And truly, this is such a beautiful one. It feels like this sunset in the sky, the warm earth beneath your feet, beautiful flowers on the table, the smell of spring finally here, and that deep exhale that your body takes when it knows I am safe. And that is the soul of Taurus. So let me tell you a little story about Taurus. I know I had the Taurus season episode, but I love talking about Taurus in this season. So Taurus is described as the practical, the grounded, the dependable, the security-oriented, safety-oriented sign of the zodiac. These are people that feel the most grounded. They feel the best when they have money in the bank, there's food in the fridge, and there's a plan for tomorrow. So this is a sign of consistency. They love consistency. They love quality. They love knowing what they can count on, both physically and relationally. If you're in a Taurus life, it's because they deem you at that level of safety and dependability that they carry an honor for themselves. And so it's really an honor to be in the circle of trust, the circle of trust of a Taurus world. When something works for them, they absolutely stick with it. This is the sign that will go to the same restaurant on the same night at the same time, order the same food, not because they're boring, but because it's good. And why mess with perfection? You know what you're going to get. And so beneath all of that earthly practicality, they are profoundly spiritual. And we don't often associate the earth signs with spirituality, but I actually see that from a totally different lens. I know so many earth signs in particular, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns that have such beautiful spiritual connections, and especially Taurus. And of course, this all depends on what else is going on in their birth chart, right? We're not just our sun sign or just our moon sign, but Taurus is ruled by Venus, and we know Venus is the planet of love and beauty and abundance and pleasure and value. And so at its highest expression, Taurus teaches us that spirituality is about being in the body, about being in the present moment. And it's about inhabiting it fully, jumping into this earthly experience 100%, and discovering the divine that lives in the physical world. We often think of that spiritual connection as something that we can't see, that is beyond the veil, that's beyond this physical reality. But Taurus is here to remind us the beauty and the connection, that everything embodies the divine. We are a reflection of the divine in our body, in all the beautiful things, the miracles that happen all around us, that the rise of the sun, the rain that falls from the sky, the trees that grow from the earth, the animals that surround us, all of this is a reflection of divine beauty, and all of that is spiritual. And so, spirituality doesn't have to just be where you go in your mind when you escape this reality. It can be found in a delicious meal, in a warm embrace, within soft, silky sheets, the song from a beautiful bird outside, the scent of roses, or that feeling of bare earth on your feet. And Taurus reminds us that peace and simplicity and presence, these are the things that are sacred. This is what is valuable to Taurus. And so having a new moon in Taurus means it's very Venusian, right? Because Venus rules Taurus. And under a new moon sky, we plant seeds. Right now in the Northern Hemisphere, it is spring, and we are literally planting seeds. So all of this is so timely and even amplified and abundant right now. And with a new moon, we have a dark sky. The soils are fertile. And these are the moments when we go inward and we reflect and we trust. We set our intentions, we plant our seeds, and we trust that with that intention that we set, that we will receive a bounty, receive its plentiful fruition come the end of summer into fall, or under that beautiful Taurus full moon that happens in 6 months. But what do you want to grow right now? What seeds are you planting? Because this new moon in Taurus, the seeds that we are planting, if we take note from the beautiful Taurin, this is seeds related to money and abundance, of self-worth, stability and security, of our body, our nervous system, pleasure, sensitivity and sensuality, values and priorities, and our long-term goals. So this is a new moon where we ask, what truly makes me feel safe? What do I value most in this life? And where am I'm taking inventory here, where am I spending, investing my time, my energy, my resources, my money? And does my life reflect what matters to me the most? If I think about my values and what are the most important things in this life, peace, safety, family, freedom, does my life reflect that? Because energy is currency, right? How we spend our energy, that is value. Time is currency. Our attention is currency. So where you spend those currencies reveals what matters to you the most. And if you notice that where you are spending does not reflect what you value, that is a beautiful invitation to change your story, change your daily habits, release, let something go, plan a new habit, a new daily routine that does. And so why I say, this is a beautiful opportunity to do something differently and incorporate some new habits and some change into your life, because this is something that we haven't experienced for the last 7 years, because for the last 7 years, every time we have had the sun and moon meet up in Taurus, they have had a visitor. And that visitor has been the planet Uranus. So the last 7 years, Uranus has been in Taurus. Well, we know that Uranus just moved into Gemini. So this is the first new moon where it's not in Taurus. But that doesn't mean it's not still under this Uranian influence. And I think this is so profound and such a beautiful message. So even though Uranus just entered Gemini, the next sign, the future, it's still close enough in a degree wise, because this is a 25 degree. There's only 29 degrees in a sign. This is a 25 degree Taurus new moon. Uranus is still considered conjunct. Energetically, it's still touching this sun and moon under this new moon sky. And so since 2018, so think about this. Since 2018, Uranus has been shaking the ground literally between your feet, right? Because when we feel stable and grounded, we feel like we have a solid foundation under our feet, right? Well, that's Taurus. And Uranus is the disruptor. Uranus is the dismantler, the rebel. And anything that over the last 7 years that has been unstable has been dismantled. Anything that has been outdated has been disrupted. We have been asked to redefine our relationships with money and security and values and our self-worth. And so many of us have experienced major changes in our careers, in our finances, in our relationships, in our sense of stability, because that's what Uranus does when it moves through a sign. And those are all Taurus themes. And so now Uranus has stepped into Gemini. Well, that means the future is calling. It means the future is calling because this new moon still holds that whisper of Uranus energy. And it's close enough to infuse a new moon, which is a reset, a fresh start, with sparks of insight and innovation and awakening. So what this new moon feels like is it feels like a bridge. So it's a bridge between the life that you've been rebuilding and the future that is just beginning to reveal itself. So with this new moon, you may experience some new ideas, some unexpected downloads, a fresh new vision, whether this is for your business or your personal goals, your personal life, a new approach to finances, new financial opportunities coming in, and this intuitive nudge to an upgrade for something that is no longer working in your life. And I would expect this to happen as we lead up to the new moon, because we're often shown things that we don't want leading up to a new moon sky, so that we can plant seeds of intention that don't include that thing. Funny how that works. So there is electricity in the soil of this new moon. And so whatever seeds that you plant now may carry this more momentum, more electricity, more sped up frequency than usual. So one of the messages that I keep receiving as I think about this new moon and I am connecting with it is that one of the things that we need to hear is that it is safe for us to expand. And that is a message directly related to our nervous system. This new moon, especially this Taurus season, really wants us to know that growth does not need to feel chaotic. It doesn't need to. And you can evolve without abandoning your sense of security. And that is a lesson that I think I've really resonated with and heard loud and clear, is sometimes it's really hard for us to change, especially fixed signs. It's really hard for us to change. And that's because change often in our minds means chaos, not safe. Well, you can hold both. It's not a one or the other scenario. And we just choose to put it all in one box, but in reality, we get to hold both. And you get to hold both pleasure and productivity. You get to hold both comfort and change and stability and innovation all in the same hand. And this moon reminds us that transformation doesn't always have to be dramatic. It can happen in tiny bite-sized bits. Taurus is very comfortable with that. And sometimes it just happens through one consistent step, just one step at a time, one practical adjustment, one beautiful upgrade, one decision to invest in what truly matters to you. And so under this new moon sky, I'd love for you to ask yourself, what is one simple upgrade that will bring more pleasure and practicality into my life? Maybe that is looking at your finances. That would be such a yummy thing to do under this new moon sky. Maybe it is replacing something that is worn out. It's long overdue. Perhaps it's creating a new nourishing morning routine that really sets the tone for your day in a way that gives you that solid foundation that you need. That permission to let your nervous system know that growth does not mean a lack of security. Investing in your business. That would be a wonderful thing to do, intentionally investing in something that you are growing and that you believe will bring value into your life, or maybe it already does in so many ways. Buying things that are quality over quantity. That's very Taurus. Scheduling time to rest. What is the point of building this abundant life if you never give yourself permission to actually enjoy it, savor it, get into your body and allow yourself to really enjoy the simple pleasures in life? And so Taurus, with the simple pleasures, and with Taurus, the quality over quantity point that I was making there, Taurus is not into flashy. They're into classic, timeless. Taurus is not into rushed. No, that doesn't, usually when things are rushed, there's no quality in there. There's no thought. There's no intention. And Taurus is in for signing up for the long haul, a commitment that it may reveal itself in its own divine timing, but your job is just to trust the process, to put one foot in front of the other, and build in whatever that outlet is for you intentionally, without that expectation that it has to be fast, that it's going to be overnight, and just doing it for the sheer pleasure and joy that it gives you. And so for this new moon, if you'd like to work with it or incorporate any type of Taurus rituals, which I love to do, some of the ways to work with this energy, like I said, the first thing, review your finances. I know that's so sexy. I mean, maybe that is really sexy to use spreadsheets and finances, sitting down with your budgets and talking about long-term goals. I mean, count me in. But really think about what you're building. Think about what you're building and because let's be honest, Taurus, Venus, this is money. What would financial security look like for you? What can you plant seeds of intention around that? Auditing your time. Where are you spending your resources? Where are you spending your energy? This is your most valuable, most expensive resource. Um, your energy is expensive, Taylor. So does your schedule align with that? Do you believe that about yourself? That is a reflection of the value that you see for yourself, right? Reconnecting with your body, right? This is a physical sign, physical body, physical senses. So how can you move your body, connect with it, stretch it, rest it, give it pleasure, take a bath, go for a walk, take a walk, I was going to say under the moonlight, but there'll be no moonlight, but walk under the stars, attend a sound bath, treat your body to that vibrational healing. And indulge in your senses. I mean, make this sensual. Taurus is the most sensual sign of the zodiac. And so light some candles, wear something luxurious and something that makes you feel good. Listen to music, cook something absolutely delicious and divine. Savor a good glass of wine or a cup of tea. I know for me, I will absolutely do a ritual with a beautiful wine for this new moon and paired that with some delicious food because I'm stepping into my Taurus North Node. The more that I lean into those sensual pleasures and really indulge in my senses, the more at peace and in flow I actually feel. And so, yes, those things are part of my ritual. After I attend a sound bath, I have a delicious glass of wine and pair that with a carefully and intentionally planned meal that really embodies the essence of what this moment in time means for me. Now, spending time in nature, this is an earth sign. So I do encourage you to get outside and sit beneath the trees, walk barefoot in the grass, touch the earth, literally like grab that earth and feel it in your hands, stopping to smell the roses. What you are planting now in this portal, this new moon, something that may feel really good is set up 2-month check-ins. So in 2 months, in 4 months, and then 6 months. So in 6 months, we will be under the full moon in Taurus. So the completion of this cycle. And so if you set up these progress checks in 2-month increments, when you get to that full moon, you get to celebrate how far you've come on this intention that you set under this potent and abundant new moon in Taurus. And so abundance, getting back to where we started with all of this, that abundance, it's so much more than just money. It's about creating that life that actually feels good, that nourishes your body, that calms your nervous system, that reflects your values and enjoys or allows you to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. Because, like I said, what's the point of building this beautiful life if you never allow yourself to savor it? So my final thoughts on this new moon is that this is really, really an abundant opportunity, a threshold, if you will, with Uranus in Gemini leading us towards the future, gently guiding us to step into this new chapter. The last 7 years have changed us. We are not the same. And we have been rebuilding all the way from the ground up. And this new moon says the future is happening and prepare for it. You don't need to rush. It's not a panic. You only need to remain devoted to what you value the most. One step at a time, one choice at a time, one seed at a time. And if you stay consistent, what you plant now has this beautiful potential to become something that is so meaningful and so enduring to you in your life, and you will see the fruits of your labor. Oh, I do love this new moon. There's so much happening in the spring, so much symbolism for growth and new opportunities. And I feel it so much right now. Some of the things with, my new offerings that I have that are sprouting and growing. I know I've talked about it a few times and you've probably seen it on my social, but the membership, Inner Orbit, what an amazing container this is. The work that we are doing within this container, I'm just so excited about it. If you are interested in making astrology a living ritual and you want to personalize, you want personalized guidance using astrology, right? Using astrology as a tool, the way that it was designed to be used. Each month, we get to sit down and look at your astrology. We get to look at what each season looks like specifically for you. So you get to begin to recognize these patterns and these energies and being intentional about where you're spending your energy. Are you in a season of doing? Are you in a season of rest? In a season of healing? In a season of play? So I absolutely invite you into Inner Orbit. This is my private membership where, again, we explore your astrology. It's a one-to-one relationship, you and me. We look at your transits and we look at the stories that are currently unfolding in your life. I can't even really yet put it into words about how excited I am to offer this and the connections, the growth that I'm seeing. It's really beautiful. So you can learn more about that and enroll on ashleybellastrology.com. I have multiple payment options available, different time frames that work with your schedule. If you were interested in a reading, of course, you can always sign up for those. I'm still always offering those either in person at Divine North or virtually anytime here on the interwebs. But if you're local, I just want to remind you, if you're tuning into this podcast and you like to know about these new moons and full moons, I host new moon and full moon sound baths on or right before the lunation. So these are really beautiful opportunities to connect with your body, to create space, to help really invite in those healing vibrations of those sound bowls to really help you to prepare for each new cycle. And of course, each month I have my astrology nights with Ashley. So every beginning of every astrological season, we gather at Divine North and we talk about the upcoming season. Group of us talk, we get together. It's a beautiful evening of astrology, of course. I get to download to you everything that's happening for that season so that you're aware and you can, be really intentional with how you're planning your season. But then we also share in a traditional cacao heart opening ceremony, which is just my favorite. It's so beautiful. If you haven't experienced it, I really encourage you to come. It's so connecting and just such a beautiful ceremony. We do meditation and journaling, and really it's about making connections. When women gather in circle and we share stories, this is magic. So those are every month at Divine North, and all of these events are on the Divine North website. It's divinenorthreiki.com. So many good things. Happy spring, happy new moon. I want to thank you all so much for listening, for watching, tuning in, being part of this journey. I am just wishing you the most abundant, the most grounding, sensual, and delicious new moon in Taurus. May you really plant seeds that reflect your value, your worth, and really trust in the timing of that growth. You are co-creating with the universe, and it's all part of divine timing. And you are creating a life that feels both meaningful and beautiful. And it's just so exciting. All right, you guys, from my heart to yours, happy new moon. Bye for now.